Palestine has a long and turbulent history of religion, culture, commerce, and politics. Jewish descent from Egyptian, then Roman, Muslim Caliphate, Ottoman Empire, then British plan to establish illegal Jewish state. Many nations and rulers have risen and fallen in this region. I will know all the information from the very beginning of the mysterious and holy land to the present, how the country of Palestine was created. See details. A region in the southern part of the Middle East between the Mediterranean Sea and the Jordan River. Palestine has an important geographical location for the three continents of Asia, Europe, and Africa. Islam and Christianity were born in this land. The Palestine religion is one of the oldest religions of the world, where human habitation and agriculture civilization developed. The religion attained city-state status in the early Bronze Age. The religion was influenced by various civilizations, including ancient Egypt, Mesopotamia, and Syria. The earliest evidence of humans in prehistoric times in Palestine has been found near the Sea of Galilee. Beside ancient stones, artifacts and tools have been discovered. The Hebrew arrived in Palestine during the Bronze Age. The present-day Israelis are the descendants of the Hebrews. In 1800 BC, Hazrat Ibrahim salam settled in northwestern Mesopotamia with the Hebrews. After Ibrahim's death, his grandson Yaqub brought the Hebrews to Palestine and resettled the area. In 1600 BC, when a famine occurred in Palestine, the Hebrews fled to Egypt to save their lives. But in Egypt, the Pharaoh made them captives and slaves. Many years later, when the new leader of Hebrews, Moses, arrived, he freed the Hebrews from the Pharaoh's rule and brought them to the Sinai Peninsula between 1300 to 1250 BC. After arriving in the Sinai Peninsula, they were driven out by the invasion of the Canaan tribes and later by the Palestinian warriors. Finally, in 1000 BC, Hazrat Daud united the Hebrew and built the city of Jerusalem, and the original natives of the regions were expelled. Then a powerful kingdom of Hebrews developed in the Levant region, which is present in Syria, Turkey, Palestine, Jordan, Egypt, and Lebanon. And the name of this kingdom is Israel, and Judah is the United Kingdom. Prophet Sulaiman expanded and strengthened the kingdom, but after his death, the kingdom was divided into two. One is the kingdom of Israel, and other is the kingdom of Judah. The ancient kingdoms of Israel and Judah fell with the rise of the Assyrians. Assyrians Empire Nebuchadnezzar massacred Jerusalem and enslaved many Hebrews to Babylon, and between 700 to 600 BC Palestine came under Neo-Assyrian Empire. In 500 BC, the Persian Empire Cyrus the Great defeated the Assyrian and conquered Mesopotamia. He freed the Hebrew from Babylon captivity and allowed them to return Palestine. At the time, the Hebrews were ruling Palestine independently. Under the Persian Haqamanshi rule, Hebrew culture underwent major change under Persian rule. However, in 332 BC, Alexander the Great conquered Palestine and ended Persian rule, placing Palestine under a Hellenic empire. Hellenistic rule ended Palestine with the rise of the Roman Empire and the Maccabean revolt. Roman rule began in 63 BC when the Roman general Pompey the Great annexed the region to the Roman Empire. However, in AD 66 to 77, the Jewish revolt against the Roman, and as a result, the Roman army occupied Jerusalem, destroyed the Second Temple, and expelled many Jewish from Palestine. In the 4th century, the Roman Empire adopted Christianity, thereby increasing the importance of Christianity in Palestine. Jerusalem also became an important center of Christianity. In AD 1636, Muslims defeated the Byzantine Empire at the Battle of Yarmouk and established control over the Palestinian territories. The first Muslim era in Palestine began in the 7th century under the Islamic Khalifa. Palestine came under the Khilafat during the reign of Khalifa Umar ibn Khattab. Jerusalem came under Muslim rule peacefully after defeat of the Byzantine Empire after the Battle of Yarmouk, and Islamic law prevailed in Palestine. During this time, the non-Muslim in Palestine enjoyed maximum freedom, and even Christians and Jewish were allowed to freely carry on their religious activities. Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem were renovated, and the Dome of the Rock was built under the Islamic Khilafat. The first Muslim era in Palestine ended with the invasion of Christian Crusader from Europe in the late 11th century. In 11th century, the Crusader took Palestine under their Crusade kingdom. However, after 1154, under the leader of the Muslim king Salahuddin Ayyubi, the Muslim rescued Palestine during his reign. Jewish and Christian were allowed to settle in this region. Besides, the Al-Aqsa Mosque was restored and Palestine was under Muslim Ayyubid rule. Ayyubid rule include Egypt and Syria. In 1260, the Mongols invaded the Middle East and the Ayyubid Empire lost large territories, including Palestine. Palestine was besieged by the Mongols for about 4 months. In 1260, the Mamluk Empire defeated the Mongols and took control Palestine and Egypt, ending the Ayyubid rule in Palestine. The Mamluks were primarily militarily strong. In 1250, they had control over various regions of the Middle East, including Palestine. During their rule, the presence of the army in Palestine is seen. Many mosques, including Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem, played an important role in the madrasa and trade and economy of Palestine under Mamluk rule. In 1517, the Mamluk were defeated by Sultan Selim of the Ottoman Empire, and all of Egypt, Syria, and the Hejaz, including Palestine, came under the Ottoman Empire. In 1517, Palestine became an important administration of the Ottoman Empire, and during this time, Islam became stronger in practice and economically and militarily in Palestine. And during this time, Islam became stronger in practice and economically and militarily in Palestine. In World War One, the Ottoman Empire sided with the Allies and lost control of Palestine in 1917 to the Ottomans. After that, the British Army occupied Palestine with the help of America. Soon after Britain occupied this area, he announced that an independent state would be formed in the area. Since the Muslims outnumbered the Jewish in the region, they thought that the Muslim would have an independent country. A Jewish scientist pleases the British Prime Minister by discovering a rare World War First bomb, and the Prime Minister asks for his willingness to reward him and the scientist wishes for their Jewish state in Palestine. From this time, Britain prepared to establish a Jewish state in Palestine, and from 1980 to 30 years, Palestine was under occupation with the aim of annihilating Muslims in Palestine. In 1920, Jews began to gather in groups in Palestine, and with the help of the British, the Jews formed militias paramilitary whose purpose was to drive out the Palestinians and take their place. In addition, many Jewish terrorist organizations forced the Palestinians to leave the country through various acts of destruction. In 1947, under American pressure, 33 states voted in the United Nations to quick establish a Jewish state, allocating 57% of independent Palestine to Jewish and 43% to Palestinians, where one-fifth of the population was Jewish, but they get twice the land in proportion to the population. In addition, this proposal leaves the northwestern border of the Jewish state undefined, making it easier for the Jewish to expand the border or occupy Palestine. Millions of Palestinians were forced to leave the country due to constant persecution of Jewish. On May 12, 1948, at 12 p.m., the Jewish Zionists declared the State of Israel, the head of which was David Ben-Gurion, the first Prime Minister of Israel. Within 10 minutes of the establishment of the State of Israel, America recognized Israel as an independent country, followed by Soviet and British recognized. In 1948, a civil war broke out between Palestine and Israel, where the Arab countries supported Palestine and the West supported Israel. In this war, Israel converted 57% of their land into 60%. At that time, the Arabs did not allow the Palestine state to be established. With a ceasefire in 1964, the PLO was establishment with the aim of establishing an independent Palestine state with the support of more than 100 countries. The role of the PLO has given Palestine observer status at the United Nations. All countries recognize the PLO organization and consider its head as President of Palestine. The current President Mahmoud Abbas is the head of the PLO. Another powerful organization, Hamas, was born in Palestine in 1987. Hamas has been in control of Gaza since its victory in the 2006 Palestinian national elections. Basically, the extreme relationship between Hamas and the PLO or Fatah has become a major obstacle to the liberation of Palestine. Most of the countries identify Hamas as a terrorist organization, but China, Russia, Turkey, Syria, Iran describe Hamas as a political liberation organization. Hamas is the only organization that rejects the two-state policy and has fought several wars with Israel to liberate all of Palestine, not to mention the current situation, how the Palestinians are being killed, and how Arab countries pretend not to see the cries of the Palestinians. Today, the Palestinians have died helpless, but they have not given up their goal of independence. Houthi, Hezbollah, Iran, Yemen, Syria, Iraq still support, but it is on the side of Palestine. One day, Palestine will be free. Al-Aqsa will be free.